What we want to do is find a way to surrender, to release the worries, to detach from holding on to particular results. Because so much of what we're doing when we're in these anxieties or attachments is that we're giving our energy to those things that we do not want. The redirection of your energy to something different, to something that you do want, is a fantastic way to release your ties to things going in a particular way, or any expectations that you have of anything that's really going on in your life that you do not prefer. So with this in mind, I want you to close your eyes and find a comfortable position. This energy healing session is going to focus you on releasing and surrendering to divinity. It is a common 3D practice to believe that we are responsible for way more than we are actually truly responsible for. We believe that if we don't do this thing, bad things will happen. If we don't avoid this other thing, then bad things will happen. If we don't curtail our minds, then bad things will happen. If we don't deliver on our responsibilities, etc. This is quite the burden. This builds up to being a lot of pressure. So I want you to start off by bringing your attention to the infinite now, the present moment. Feel the weight of your body against the surface beneath you. Let this moment be a peaceful one, and notice the stillness. Take a moment to reflect on the idea of letting go, of surrendering to your life as it is. See yourself standing at the edge of a tranquil lake. As you gaze at the water, imagine that it represents all of the thoughts, worries, and attachments that you carry with you. With each breath, feel a sense of deep relaxation and surrender washing over you. As you exhale, imagine releasing any thoughts or concerns and allowing them to dissolve into the water. Take deep breaths here and make sure that you engage your vocal cords as you exhale each time. Feel your heart vibrate with the sound of your voice. Surrender to your experience. Your entire experience so far. You may believe some large percentage of that is maybe even some sort of punishment for your bad decisions. Maybe you see it as a punishment due to karma or some spiritual concept. But I want you to try reframing this and looking at it that everything that's happened to you has had nothing to do with any of your decisions or anything called karma. Just imagine that for a second. Even if you don't believe it, just pretend that everything that's happened is completely outside of your control. Every little aspect. How would it change the way that you look at your current situation? One possibility might be that you would say, well, then why did all of this happen to me? Or another possibility would say, oh, I'm off the hook. None of this is because of anything that I've done? Oh, then I can stop blaming myself. I can stop feeling guilty or ashamed. And now, just imagine that for the rest of your life, the same thing was true. That nothing that you did, said, or thought had anything to do with what happened to you. That you were just adrift on a river. And the only thing that you could do was observe what was going on. You might not like this idea, but once again, it could make you feel like you're off the hook. That you can't actually hurt anyone else. That you can't steer your life in any way. And that in a way, you're more of an observer than a driver. I'm not saying that this is how the universe works. But there is some truth to it. And one of the big things that we do is that we put an awful lot of pressure on ourselves to do things in a certain way, to behave in a certain way. And we judge ourselves if we don't do it, quote unquote, right. When you go to see a movie or you watch a show, I think one of the big reasons that we like it so much is because we don't have to do anything. It's all going to happen according to the script or according to the true story. And it doesn't matter what we do. We might care about the characters. We might be rooting for one result over another. But deep down, we know that we're not responsible. And so we can truly be entertained. What if you could bring this approach to your life? To observe it, and that no matter what happens, you can just be entertained. That you're watching a grandiose show or movie. And it's some pretty advanced technology, because movies and televisions have gotten brighter with more high fidelity sound. And there's even been some movie theaters that bring other senses into the experience. Maybe smells or touch or feeling, momentum. What we're trying to do there is truly immerse ourselves in the story. Well, guess what? You can't become any more immersed in your own story. You don't even need any technology. You get all of it. So you can actually surrender to your own story. And it'll be the greatest show you've ever seen. When we give our energy to what we do not want, we create more of what we do not want. When we focus on the pain, when we focus on the suffering, we create more. When we focus on how joyful we are, when we focus on how grateful we are, when we focus on how at peace we are, then we get more of that. And when we focus on what we do not want, we get frustrated, we get disappointed, we get angry, we get impatient, and we are essentially shaking our fists and saying, "It isn't fair." We're talking to the divinity of the world, of the universe, and we're saying, "Not good enough." That approach will never bring the results that you're looking for. It will always bring more of what you do not want. So, take a big deep breath, go back to that lake, and once again, take all of those thoughts, all of that energy that you're putting into what you do not want, and watch it dissolve into that lake. And be an observer. Surrender to your life and love the greatest show, the greatest movie that you've ever seen. Take a moment to ask yourself if it's possible for you to look at life in this way. Imagine that as soon as this is over and you open your eyes and go back to your life, can you bring with you the observer, the surrenderer, and allow things to go? Write down the divine path that the universe is guiding you down.